People who drive along Cainhoy Road in Berkeley County say something must be done to stop deadly crashes. In the past 10 years, data from the Department of Public Safety says more than 100 people have been hurt in crashes along that road.
Traffic reporter Abby O'Brien investigates why the road is so deadly and what can be done to help and how these serious crashes have impacted that community.
If you drive down Cainhoy Road in the middle of the day, you'll notice it's quiet. And if you take time to look around, you may notice some of the many scars embedded along this 12-mile stretch. Some scars are more obvious, like crosses on trees. Others are harder to see, like this burnt piece of asphalt from a car that crashed and caught fire. Locals out here know the dangers, like Steve Goodwin,
Deputy Chief for the Cainhoy Fire Department.
John Whitley.
I'm the owner of Coastal Firearms.
And Richard Cohen.
The sound of these accidents is very unique. It's like 100 shotguns or 1,000 shotguns going off at once.
Cohen lives just off Cainhoy Road and has been the first person at these crashes many times.
I'd never really witnessed and seen anyone pass away in my life except for Cainhoy Road. In the last 5 years, it's gotten exponentially worse. It's very noticeable, and it's not normal to have all these horrific accidents and deaths on a stretch of highway right outside your home.
He took me to some of the crash scenes he vividly remembers.
And see, he hit this tree and went up on top of it, and the car flipped over and was in the woods over there. Mullinax, he was a pretty well known, and I didn't know him, but a lot of people did, and really thought a lot of him.
Art Mullinax is one of more than a dozen people killed in crashes along Cainhoy Road in the last decade. Anthony Sweat worked with him down the road at Nucor Steel.
Art was a real big family man, hard worker, super nice guy. He loved his South Carolina Gamecocks, football, diehard fan. He was really looking forward to the next stage of his life.
On July 24th, 2019, Sweat and Mullinax had a conversation at the end of their shift.
And I watched him get in his car and drive off.
Court records say another driver on Cainhoy Road was going 30 miles an hour over the speed limit when he tried to pass on a double yellow line, came into Mullinax's lane and hit him head on. Sweat got the call from another coworker.
He was already crying on the other end of the phone and was telling me that Art was gone. And it didn't seem real, and I really couldn't wrap my head around it.
Deputy Chief Steve Goodwin responded to the crash and also works at Nucor Steel.
In my experience as a firefighter, the worst accidents that I have seen out of anywhere that I've worked have been in the Cainhoy area. We have several fatality accidents a year.
The road looks a lot different during rush hour.
It's crowded, it's nerve-wracking. You have guys riding bumpers, guys passing kind of erratic. There's not a whole lot of passing lanes. There's a lot of curves.
This road is not designed for the amount of traffic that's on it. You have impatient drivers and they want to get around the trucks.
There are no reflectors on the road to help drivers see in the dark, and there is no shoulder.
When you go off, there's nowhere to go.
I took these concerns to the South Carolina Department of Transportation in Columbia to see what can be done. Pete Poore told me the DOT recently completed a site survey of the road and will put in some short-term fixes.
They're going to add reflective strips to those curve signs, curve warning signs, to make them more visible, particularly at night.
They also plan to add reflectors to the center line.
Typically, those reflectors are put 80 feet apart. In those curve sections, we are going to put them 40 feet apart to heighten the reflectivity and also the presence.
People I spoke with also want police more involved.
I think we're overlooked by law enforcement.
I requested an interview with the Berkeley County Sheriff, but was sent this statement by Chief Deputy Jeremy Baker. He said, "We will have our traffic units work the area. Speeding complaints are our #1 complaint across the county. With the explosive growth this county is seeing, this is an issue." I also reached out to the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Troopers say they encourage anyone to call their regional office to request more enforcement. Sweat hopes improvements to the road and more police presence will be a priority. In the meantime, he warns drivers along Cainhoy Road to slow down and be extra careful.
Poor, careless driving led to a family having a huge loss and a huge void in their world. So I would say to anybody out there driving carelessly, think about others. Think about what you could possibly take away from another family, in a moment of carelessness.
Reporting in Berkeley County, Abby O'Brien, Live 5 News.
Staff at the Department of Transportation say they will add those reflectors to the center line when it warms up in the spring. The DOT also plans to review the last 5 years of crash records to see what long-term fixes can be put in place. You can get a look at those statistics by going to live5news.com and clicking on this story under the traffic tab.
Now,